Well, originally Debbie and Stuart came to visit and said that they were going to set up a distillery and they wanted to produce craft gins. And what could I produce that they could use as a botanical? When I suggested applemint, I actually had a big jar of it dried for me. So they took it away, they did their experiments and then came back and said, yes, we want it.
Well, in the original gin, this is the first gin we made, we use applemint, which is brought in by Sarah McBurney. She grows it in our polytunnels up at her house, although it does grow wild in Unst, but it's quite hard to go and find it. And if we did plant it for ourselves, seemingly it's quite vicious and it could take off. And she'll bring it in, sometimes dried out, sometimes in a bag, and we'll dry it out and then strip off the stalks and then put it into the container.
And the whole trick is to dry it as gently as possible. You want as much of the essence in it as possible because that's what you're after. On Shetland there's really no large scale growing, so I might end up where I build another set of beds below it and then allow it to just grow down, and we'll have even more, because obviously if the whole world wants to drink gin, I'm going to have to grow loads of applemint.
And it makes it feel like it belongs to Unst and belongs to Shetland. All the gin's going to have Unst water in it anyway, but it's better if we can have a botanical as well as the water.
When the polytunnel was breached two years ago last January, we had 135-mile-an-hour winds. So more than anything, you have to think about the wind.
The nature of where Unst is, being the most northerly island in the United Kingdom, it's very hard because we have a very, I would say, harsh climate in the winter, and even in the summer it can be really windy.
Here, I mean, you're growing in a totally clean environment, the air's clean, nothing on the site is actually fed with anything artificial. So as the water comes off the hill, it's collected, and that's what I use to water things.
Shetland Reel is dedicated to try to keep the gin as local as possible and try to use as much local ingredients as we possibly can. The applemint, it complements the gin, gives it a nice fresh taste.